Well, I'm back. I told you I'd be right back. And are you serious? We have another major event. It's spinning out of control tonight in France. It's bad. Okay, you're looking at a picture behind me there, actual photograph from the streets of Paris. It's not just in Paris. It's sweeping France. Let me tell you all about it and why. But first, let's put a shout out right now for www.ketowithpaul.com. Americans' motivation for fitness has never been higher than this summer. A shocking 42% of Americans have stated they want a beach body, and many of whom are switching to a keto diet to reach these health goals. To help reach these goals, I highly recommend taking this amazing keto powder. It is one of the most popular keto supplements on the market because it helps give you the benefits of elevated ketones, even without following that highly difficult, restrictive keto diet, which means you don't even have to get rid of the carbs. It's specially formulated to help boost the metabolism, control your appetite, and heighten that energy levels. Try it today. Save 51% off, and there's several other free bonuses. If you just click on that link below, and go to www.ketowithpaul.com. That's www.ketowithpaul.com. Let's talk about France because this thing is spinning totally out of control. I can tell you that. Here's what they're saying. Wow, it's not good. Okay, it's really not good. But here's what they're saying. According to the reports, France has been rocked tonight by a wave of protest after the 17-year-old youth was shot by police near Paris. It happened Tuesday night, and it's been boiling. It's spilling over. Now it's out of control tonight, sparking a ban on demonstrations in some cities. Travel warnings have been issued throughout all of France and reigniting a debate on over-policing in marginalized communities. Scenes have emerged of people setting fires to vehicles, climbing onto buildings with smashing windows, while riot police officers are fiercely clashing with the demonstrators. I mean, it is ugly. Now, the unrest has prompted a crisis response from French President Emmanuel Macron. Yes, Emmanuel Macron. You know who he is. And it's amazing how this guy's just politically stays engaged and somehow never goes away. But he's basically the head of the EU. He's trying to be the head of the United Nations, and he wants to be involved in all these peace deals, and yet he can't control his own country. Anyway, this unrest has prompted a crisis response from French President Emmanuel Macron, who held an emergency meeting with ministers as he attempts to bridge divisions and unite the country in his second term. Now, what sparked these protests? Well, the police officer did shoot and kill a teenager who was from Algerian heritage during a traffic stop in Paris on Tuesday. Footage of the incident captured by a passerby showed two officers standing on the driver's side of the car, one of whom discharged his gun at the driver despite not appearing to face any immediate threat. But the officer said he fired his gun because he was scared the boy would run someone over with the car. So, and here we go. We see these, this is why you can't have this rush to judgment anywhere. But at the same time, and I'm going to just say that the people of France, they've been frustrated. And really, they have been really frustrated for some time now. They really are tired of the inflation, migration, taxation. They're the highest taxed country in the world. Frustration, the manifestation of the Macron administration. Okay, so it don't take much. Macron raised their retirement rates by 2 years. He cut their medical benefits. He raised taxes while doing all of that, and opened the doors to 2 or 3 million migrants during what was called the Arab Spring, all of which has made France this tinderbox of nerves and frustration. So, the last couple nights of violence across France, overseas territories have in turn prompted French officials to launch a crackdown. More than 40,000, this is insane, 40,000 police officers. That's a ton of police. 40,000 police officers have been mobilized to patrol several different cities across the country of France. 1,000 people have been arrested. 200 police officers have been injured. And in Paris alone, 5,000 security personnel have been deployed. Officers have been given powers to quell the riots, to make arrests, to restore Republican order. They've been given the rights to use billy clubs, tear gas, pepper spray, even rubber bullets. Overseas French territories have also witnessed violent protest. A man even was killed by a stray bullet over in the French Guiana last night. Macron, when he got his second election, which I don't know how he won, Macron gave himself 100 days to heal this country and reset his presidency after weeks of protesting against that unpopular raising of the pension reform, of the raising of the age, and the cutting of benefits, and the raising of taxes. But hopes of a reset are now likely to they're definitely being hampered by widespread protests. And the reason they're protesting, guys, I'm going to just tell you, everybody's on edge. Over there, everybody's on edge. And they're not at all happy. And then, Elton John was in France doing a concert, which is, it's his Yellow Brick Road farewell tour. Okay, Elton John. And so he was in France doing this, and French President Emmanuel Macron attended while the country is on fire, while France is on fire. He went to the concert of Elton John Wednesday as cars were burning outside of the concert hall in the street, and people were defacing buildings and busting windows and burning cars and fighting with police. Macron was dancing at the Elton John concert. He was being the tiny dancer. I shouldn't have said that. I did. Well, I mean, that's one of the songs, right? Tiny Dancer. He was the tiny dancer for a moment. Unbelievable that you would be doing that with your country on fire. I mean, this guy's clueless. To be honest with you, he operates. I mean, he's one of the global elitists. You know what I'm saying? He's not in touch with the people at all. He doesn't understand them. The French government is working to avoid a repeat of the 2005 when the deaths of 2 teenage boys hiding from a police set off a state of emergency. But no, guys, this is different. This is a country on edge. Any little thing will set them off. And I'm not saying this is little that a kid was killed, but anything. It wouldn't take that much. You don't even have to take this situation. It could be a lot less. Would still set these people off. It's unbelievable. So Macron has also called for social reform. He's just making matters worse. He's calling for now a social media platforms to quell the demonstrations. He's asking TikTok and Snapchat to withdraw the most sensitive content and identify users who employ social networks to call for disorder. We can't have riots. We must have law and order. It's terrible. And so, but one hand, while you're trying to calm people down, you can't be seen dancing to Elton John at a concert and expect people. It just the optics of that just don't look good. You're dancing while France is burning. Now, what the police officers did, I don't know. I wasn't there, but it don't sound good. It don't sound good. There's a video of these guys standing there, and one guy pulls out a gun and shoots his kid. So, I mean, that don't sound good at all. So, but again, you don't burn the country down, okay? You deal with this in a court of law and find out, what triggered this guy to do this. And then if he overreacted, you deal with him. You charge him a manslaughter or whatever it is, and you deal with him. But this isn't how you fix things. Burning down the country is not how you fix things. And certainly while the country's burning down, you don't go tiny dancing, okay, with Elton John. So that's where we're at right now. Yeah, things are out of control and things are out of whack. I'll be right back. He was saying grace over a Tuesday Blue Plate special when the man in the next booth said, "Don't you watch TV? Don't you know that God's a myth? I hate to see you waste your breath. There ain't no use in you talking to a ghost that don't exist." The praying man said amen and looked up from his plate and said, "You may not talk to God right now, but there's gonna come a day. If you're a farmer in the field, praying for the rain, or you curse him at the gravesite 'cause he called a loved one's name, you can thank him, you can blame him. Either way, you're gonna face him, whether you believe in him or not. In the end, everybody talks to God." The man in the booth went quiet 'cause he didn't have a comeback. So he shrugged it off and he paid his tab. He shuffled out the door. And the praying man, he prayed for the man who drove away, hoping he would see the light before it got too late. And how was he to know he touched an unbeliever's soul, who got that conversation 2 red lights down the road? If you're a farmer in the field, praying for the rain, or you curse him at the gravesite 'cause he called a loved one's name, you can thank him, you can blame him. Either way, you're gonna face him, whether you believe in him or not. 'Cause in the end, everybody talks to God. Everybody talks to God. can thank him, you can blame him. Either way, you're gonna face him, whether you believe in him or not. 'Cause in the end, everybody talks to God. Everybody talks to God. We all talk to God. Everybody talks to God. Everybody's going to give an account. Every eye is going to behold him. Every knee is going to bow. Every tongue is going to confess that he is the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. It's a great song, and it's on my new album, Harmonize and Prophesy, over at my website. Yeah, it's really sad what's happening in France. I mean, it's heartbreaking. Our prayers are going out to everyone there. And look, first of all, I'm going to start with the family of the youngster who was shot and killed. Okay? I'll start there. Devastating if that's your son. It's devastating if that's your son. And then, then you have to, you pray for everybody. I mean, really, because you pray for all the police that are now in this very difficult situation, trying to control a very angry mob of people. So you pray for everyone, cooler heads to prevail. But I told you, France they feel like there's been so many unjust, just so much injustice, and all the different things that they've had to deal with, that they just can't deal with it, and wow. Anyway, pray one for another, and pray for these folks truly living in the last days. I'll be back, guys, tomorrow with current world events and how they relate to biblical prophecy. We're in the end times. That's what I'm trying to say. We're in the end times. We really, really are. Wow. Did they freeze up the chat room? Because it's not moving at all. Maybe not. Anyway, God bless all of you. See you tomorrow, if we're still here.